Alrighty. I have the first term is 3 and the fourth term is 24. It says find the geometric means, find the numbers in between. Help me find the numbers in between. So I told you guys that, hey, 3 was the first term. I got 2 in between because 24 is the fourth term. Talk to me about a geometric sequence. What do you know about them? Before I even answer this question, we got a review here. What's up, Ashley? What?
It's just like
multiplying by a number. And what's that number called, by the way? Or that's an arithmetic common difference. Geometric common ratio. And that's represented by what letter? R. Good. Yep. That's what I need to find here. What do I need to multiply 3 by to get to the next one, to 24? Where can I get that R value? Can I find it? Because I know some of you can guess. Check. Number 7. Where can I get the R value? But what if it's not a whole, what if it's like 2.45? You're not going to guess that, right? Where can I find it, Art?
So go to your, I'm thinking the geometric sequence.
Where are you looking right now?
On the sheet.
Formula sheet. Yes, on the formula sheet. What's it say? Our A sub n equals?
A1R to the n minus.
Yep. Leave R as R, and let's help me fill in the rest. What's A subscript n mean again? Any term but the first one. You give me that one. 24. A subscript 1. First term. R we're trying to solve for. All right, remember, this A sub n and this n are related. You just plugged in 24. Now you're going to plug in its position in the sequence. What's its position in the sequence? 4 minus 1. Okay, help me solve now. 24 equals 3r to the third. Any algebra kings or queens in here? What's the next step? Hi, Jeff.
Yeah, you divide it by.
You were right the first time. Divide it by 3. Yep. So you get 8 equals r to the third. From here, what do you do and where is it on your calculator? Rachel? You take the cube root of both sides. Yep. Anybody remember where that was on your calculator? How to get the cube root? Under math? Under math? Everyone see the cube root option under math? Some of you, not all of you, some of you. Anybody have it under alpha window? Some of you may have it under there, some of you may not, but everyone should have it under math. What? Thanks. No, that means you're multiplying by 3. Okay, you good? Now you could, if you could do that if you use this one here, like my number 5. See where it says that? If you do 3 and then that, yes, that's fine. You already have the cube root, so just use it. Great talk as usual. Oh, Lord. If you do this on your calculator, 3 square root, you're multiplying it by 3. You're not taking the third root. Okay. What'd you get for R value? 2. All right, now can I find the next 2? Absolutely. What do I do with the 3 and the R value of 2? Times it by 2, so 6 and then 12. Yep. Okay, you guys on your own right now. Hi, Ashley, go ahead.
If you like circle the entire sequence,
No, you're fine. I can see the numbers in between. Yep. Go ahead, number 7 on your own now. But now you're going to find not 2, but 3 geometric means. So make sure you have 3 blanks in between 3.12 and the 49.92. So different numbers getting plugged into your English on the formula sheet. Anybody, because you get down to r to the 4th, we okay on the calculator? That was my only issue. Calculator now. Most of your calculators, when you hit math, and my choice is number 5, it has you fill it in. If you don't have that option of filling it in, you hit the 4 first, and then that option. All right, 4th root of 16, right? 2 again. So your R value is 2. So those other numbers in between should have been 6.24. What else you got? 12.48, and finally 24.96. Okay. Okay. We got one more thing to do before we do that. Anybody? I know some of you were able to start it. I don't know if you finished it or not, or even checked your answers. But anything, as I usually do on the assignment, you want to ask? I had. If you looked at the answer key, I had you skip 41. I know it was assigned, but I ended up. I wanted you to skip it instead because that was not a great problem. So. Art, I heard an ooh, so I assuming that means I have a question.
Yeah, I think it might. Yeah, it was 41.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Skip it. Yep. You're not responsible for anything like that.
All right.
Okay. Everything else go okay?
Yeah, well, there was
Okay.
this one problem about like Half-Life.
Yep.
And I was like, I don't think that's how Half-Life works. He was talking about how it would like decay into other elements. Is that how Half-Life works? I don't think so. Wait, but isn't it
I haven't recently took chemistry last year, like most of you have.
Wait, like I thought Half-Life had to do with radioactivity. He was talking about like breaking down into other elements, but that you have to like lose protons.
Okay, I separate discussion on another time. All right, but you're good.
Yeah.
Other than the concept of Half-Life,
Yeah.
I can't help you that. I can't. Yes.
I just want to say I like your shirt.
Okay. Thanks. Appreciate it. Any other questions or comments before we get moving on today's notes? Anything else? What an awkward group. Were the guidance counselors over the summer like, let's get the most awkward seniors together and I'll give them all to Carlino. Let's have a draft right now of the awkward seniors. Here you go. Because 8th period's right up there with you too. That's an interesting crew too. My 8th period class. So I think that's exactly what they did. All right, here we go. Let's get it going. I got one more topic to do with you. All right, and that is, do you remember with arithmetic sequence, we set up our sigma? Okay. With arithmetic, we set up, remember, I said, all right, Ash, here's an arithmetic, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, etc. And I want to add it up the first 20 terms. We made, instead of punching plus 3, we created our own sigma. Remember that? Okay. Good news, you don't have to create your own sigma here. All right, there's a formula we're going to use instead for any geometric sequence. Speaking of sigma, I just wanted to make sure we were good to go here. All right, find the sum. We can use our calculators. I just wanted to remind you how to use your calculator. I know I'm skipping the warm-up problem. That's for review tomorrow. Okay. Somebody tell me, I'm brand new here, first day in class. Where do I go to do this whole sigma thing? Jenna?
You're gonna do math. You're gonna do alpha.
Yep.
You're gonna do window.
Got it.
And you're gonna press 2.
Yep.
And you're gonna
Okay, so what's my variable here I want to plug in? N, yep. Equals what first? 1, and then you're going up to what? 12, okay. And then now here's where you got to pay attention. Because see that set of parentheses right now? That entire thing has to go in there. All right, so I have 3. I got to get another set of parentheses because I can't work outside it. 3 times 2 to the n minus 1. So close it, raise to the n minus 1. All right, go ahead.
Would you ever like not go 1?
What do you mean? Here?
Yeah, like is there any scenario?
If you make your own, I always want you to put the 1 there. But we've done a ton of problems where it doesn't have to be 1. But when you create your own sigma for the arithmetic sequences, yes, I want you to start with 1. Okay? And then are we all getting 12,285? Okay, no issues? Okay. Well, I said there was news because you don't have to set up your own sigma when you do geometric sequence arithmetic. And there's reasons behind it we can talk about later, but so how do I find the sum of a geometric sequence? Look on your formula sheet for me, please. There's a third and final formula we'll be using. And everyone see where it says geometric series, because series tells us we are adding the terms up in a geometric sequence. So there's, looks pretty intense, doesn't it? But we know what each value means, right? A1 and R. That's all the only values you need are A1 and R. So look at number 2 on your sheet for me. Find the sum of this geometric series. Before we do that, stop. Everyone stop. Don't use the formula yet. I want to make sure you know exactly what these 3 pieces mean. A1, N, and R. All right? A1's my what? First term. I don't know if you really know what we're talking about with N here. This means we're going to add up the first 10 terms of this sequence. And then it's going on multiplying by 3. So it's just so you guys can get a visual. Take a look. My first is 2. What's my next term? 2 times 3. What's my next term? 18, and so on. And we're going to add up the first 10 terms there. That's what's happening. That's what all of these mean when we put it together. Go ahead, Jenna. Okay, here's why. If you plug in 1 on your formula in that denominator, what's going to happen?
Oh,
It's going to be 0. Okay, good. All right, so here we go. So I don't want to do this and do the 2 plus 6 plus 18. Let's use the formula. S sub n equals, and again, I'm pulling this right off the darn formula sheet. A1 minus A1 times R to the, good thing you don't have to memorize this, huh? Over 1 minus, pirate? Never mind. But moving on. I had to do that here. It was, you're darn right it was. 8th period, it was cracking up over that. Favorite restaurant, Art, for a pirate to go to?
Oh man.
Come on, dig deep. Dig deep.
Chick-fil-A.
Arby's. No?
I went to an Arby's the other day. First time.
Okay, see, this went nowhere now. All right, I knew it was going to go where it shouldn't have.
Sandwich,
Okay, good talk.
a half pound.
All right, fill it in for me. What's your end value? It's good, Jenna. I know, I got a ton of them. This tells me you're going to find the sum of the first 10 terms. That's what S10 means. The sum of the first 10 terms is equal to, here we go, first term, 2 minus 2 times 3 to the 10, all over 1 minus. Okay, you know exactly what I'm going to say here. Don't do this piece by piece. Get a fraction template and plug it all in. All right, you try to do it piece by piece, I start worrying that there's going to be a mistake somewhere. Get a fraction template out, plug it all in at once. Parentheses and all. And then can I get a little help? 12s? We have a 12 in the house.
Oh, that's me.
Hello. Whenever you're ready. Sum of the first 10 terms. If I add up all those numbers, it's going to give me what? You rattled or what?
I'm just trying to work on it.
Okay. Keep working. What are you doing on your calculator?
Am I doing this the right way?
2 times to the 10th. To the 10th. Why are you going 1, 2?
Is it all adding up?
Correct. That one formula adds it all up for you. You don't have to go separate. So that should be a 10. Okay.
All right. Okay.
There you go.
59,048.
Great job. We all good there? That's basic. Some people not getting that on your calculator? No, Mary? User error. It was, I know. Sorry. Okay, are you using the subtraction sign or the negative button?
Maybe not.
No, on the bottom you're using the negative. I tell already.
Oh,
1 minus.
sorry.
Okay, you're nothing to be sorry about. You have one job though. Okay. Everyone good? Questions? Okay, that's basic. Just plug and chug. That was basic. All right, now you go to number 3. Find the first 8 terms of this series. Well, time out, stop. We're at the point in the unit where we have 2 kinds of sequences, don't we? Arithmetic and geometric. This does not say which one to use. Well, we're in the geometric day, so it's got to be geometric. That's not a response next Wednesday on the test. How are you going to know this is geometric over arithmetic? 3. Look, here's your sequence, guys. 3, -12, 48, -192, and so on. That's geometric, isn't it? Everyone can tell that's geometric versus arithmetic. Yes or no here? Because other than that, there's no way of knowing what it is. You can still, I'm multiplying by the same number, Brett. And if you can't realize what that number is, what was the trick I gave you? Alex, what was the trick? Go ahead, take a term. Go, take one. Go, take one. 40 gives me my R value. The R value can be positive or negative, Brett. Doesn't matter as long as I'm multiplying by it the same every time. You all right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Okay, so we're finding the sum of the first 8 terms. So n is 8. What's your first term? 3 minus 3 times R value is just what? And please use that trick Alex just re-explained to us. Pick a term, divide by the previous. R value is always there. -4, right? Raised to the 8th, all over 1. Be careful now. 1 minus
+3.
1 minus -4. It's not 1 minus 4. It's 1 minus a -4 because that's your R value. It says 1 minus R on the formula sheet. And you shouldn't be panicking. Oh, look at all these negatives. Who cares? Plug them in the calculator just as it is. Get your fraction template. Get parentheses where you should have parentheses. 20. What do you got for me?
Negative 39, 321.
Got it. Did you get that on your calculator, Maddie? You sure about that, or are you lying to me? Okay. Anybody else? Okay. For 4, I come out and say geometric, right, and find the sum. But we run, as usual, we run into a problem. It's not as easy as just plugging in everything and using my calculator. So let's see where we run into a problem. And we run into the problem right away because I do not know how many terms we're adding up, do I? That stinks. That stinks. Yeah. Okay, so where can I find that value? Not going to be a big fan of this. It is what it is. What's this mean? First term is 2,000. What's a sub equal 125 mean? Any term in this sequence, some term in this sequence is 125. And you're multiplying by what? 1/2, right? So here's what we got. I got 2,000 as my first term. And then some term down the line is 125. Everyone agrees. I got to figure out the end value here is going to be what term is 125. That's going to be my end value. So if I'm at 2,000, what would be the next term? How'd you get 1,000? Multiply by 1/2. So go ahead, keep, because I think we'll get to this pretty quickly if it's 125. What's the next term? 500. What's the next term? 200 and 250. And then finally, what's the next one? 125. So 125 is the what term? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 terms. It's the 5th term. So there's my end value of 5. Now, I don't know if anybody is thinking about this, if I could have used the geometric sequence formula to solve for n. And the answer is yes, but I didn't do it with you, and I think you'll be happy why I didn't do it. You see how n's an exponent we'd have to solve for? Remember your good old logs from last year? Or you prefer not to remember them? That's what we would have to use to solve for n here. So I'm staying away from that. All right, Brett, go. So you guys, while Brett's asking my question here, now that you know n is 5, go ahead, find the sum. Go ahead, Brett. You can consider it the last term, yeah. It's just a term, because remember, the sequence goes on forever. I'm going to keep multiplying by 1/2, by 1/2, by 1/2. I just want to know where 125 fell. Okay? And when you have it, 4, sum of the first 5 terms, 937.5. Is that what we got? You got the same stuff up here, Sarah. 2,000 minus 2,000. There you go. There you go. Regroup. And then when you divide it by 1/2, let me know what you got. you go. Yep, 3,000. Just lost my page. 3,800. I have 8,007. I have 3,875. 2,000, right? Minus 2,000 times a half raised to the fifth on top of your fraction template. And then divided by 0.5. All right, we got it now. Okay, everyone good now? Okay, moving on. You don't have it on your paper, Art. I deleted it off this past summer because I wasn't a big fan of it. So you guys, your number 5 is this pendulum question, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
My bad.
Yep, it is. Okay, pendulum. Well, first of all, I always want to know that you know what's going on here. Pendulum, we okay? Anybody? We all good, or do we need to? So what? It acts like that, yeah. But a pendulum on a clock goes both ways. It just doesn't continuously swing to the right without coming backwards. What, Mary? You want to add to the pendulum discussion? Go ahead.
Is it a clock? Isn't that a clock?
Usually it's attached to a clock, yes.
Is that like every second? It's like
I don't know how it works.
use that to like time out music or something.
Oh yeah, they do.
Oh yeah, that's a like you gotta like spin it and then it's like yeah, and then you're like
You don't spin anything.
no yeah.
Does everybody have the visual representation of what a pendulum looks like? Grandfather, the big clocks.
Yeah, okay. I know what that was.
We good? Everyone's good. The pendulum. Okay, because some years I gotta throw up old Google images and see what a pendulum is. All right, regardless. It swings through an arc. Okay, maybe after we do this one, we'll have visual representation up on the TV. Okay. Swing, no, absolutely not. No, that's not going to be pretty. All right. We go through an arc of 20 inches, and then every swing after that, it's 95% of what it was the previous time. Okay? So if I always like to write out a couple numbers in my sequence to see what I'm dealing with, whether it's arithmetic or geometric. So if 20 is my first one, and the swing is 95% of that, how do I find the next swing? Well, we'll get there in a second, but I just want to write out a couple numbers in my sequence. So it's 20. How can I find what the next one's going to be? Multiply it by 0.95. Go ahead, everybody. So what's my next swing going to be? 20 times 0.95? 19, yep. I'll do one more in the sequence. 18.05, we get it, right? So geometric or arithmetic? Geometric, because you guys right now in your calculator are doing what? Hitting the what button? Multiply. All right, so after 10 additional swings, and here's the key, because some of you guys didn't do this on your quiz, the total distance. I don't want to know what the last swing measures. I don't care. I want to know the total distance. And the total tells me I'm going to need sum right off the formula sheet. And somebody's going to fall in the trap if you haven't done so already. How many swings are we adding up here?
Oh no. 11.
Why 11? Because it's 20 right now after 10 additional swings. So you are adding up 20 plus those 10 additional ones for, yes, 11. What was the first swing? 20 minus 20 times, what was my R value now? 0.95. And if you forget, take a term, divide it by the previous. So 0.95 to the 11th, all over 1 minus 0.95. And there are no rounding directions here, so just get in the habit in this class anyway, because it's the same on the Regents. No rounding directions. We write up the full calculator display. So about 172 inches. Is that what we're getting?
Yeah.
Okay. Alex, I'm ready.
My calculator automatically rounds to 172.48.
Fine. I'm not going to be picky. The only time we may run into an issue is if I ask you to round to something past that. But we'll figure out the calculator by then. Okay. But I'm not going to be picky there, Alex. That's fine. Thank you for letting me know. Okay. You kids. Good? This part right here.
So just the window track.
Correct. Not the full clock. The size of the clock I get. Here, there you go. There's a long one.
What's the other thing?
What other thing?
Like with this.
Oh, look at this. That's cute, huh? That's kind of weird too, but okay. You know, we can go the dragon with the tail as the pendulum. I don't know. Don't care because I will not be purchasing that. Okay. The boat. Yep. The anchor. That's nice. The little Bigfoot. Oh, flamingo.
The giraffe.
Why do I keep scrolling down? And the monkey with the banana. Okay. Yep, we're good. I'm done. I don't even want to see what's coming
Wait,
next.
but what's the bigger thing?
What bigger thing?
When there's like when people set up like a bunch of little things and then they do the thing. And she means like the balls.
Oh, like the
No,
silver.
not the balls like that though. When there's like a circle and then it goes like this and then it like knocks down everything.
I think I know. I have a picture in my mind what you're talking about. I don't know what it's called though. I think I know what you're talking about, but I don't know what it's called. So.
It's meant to do like the rotation
No,
of your
there's the thing in the middle and then there's a circle around it and then it goes like back and forth until it knocks down like everything.
I've seen that.
Thank you.
I've seen it.
What?
All right. Good discussion here today. All right. Here's your start of the review for the test. Tell me if it's arithmetic or geometric, and then find the series for the number of terms. So 139. 139, that's geometric. And the n equals 8 is saying find the sum of the first 8 terms. All right, so I'm going to let you do that on your own. But help me figure out 8 now. 8, geometric or arithmetic? Arithmetic. Whoa. We got a review here. Because I know you guys can plug into the geometric formula we've been using all class. Now that it's arithmetic and you're going to add up the first 10 terms, I have to create a what? Sigma. I got to create a sigma. So let's review how to create a sigma. This is for arithmetic only. Because, hey, think about it. Do you have an arithmetic formula on your sheet for series? No, you don't. So that's why we got to create the sigma. Where do we start? N equals 1. And you know what you're going up to here. How many terms are you adding up at number 8? 10 terms. So n equals 1 to 10. And what are we going to put to the right? the equation for the nth term, which I get off my formula sheet. So let's do that. So I need some people's help here. Go to your formula sheet. Number 12, go to your formula sheet. What's the equation for arithmetic sequence? Yep. Yep.
Plus parentheses n minus 1 times d.
Got it. Thank you. Okay, help me fill it in. You're finding the equation for the nth term. So n stays n. What do you got, Jenna?
I got 5
So hold on. A sub n, because I'm not changing that. Go ahead. A1
equals 5
plus,
plus, in parentheses, whatever, 10
nope, just n. N stays n. And then d value?
minus, oh, D is
2. Go ahead and clean that up. And you get 2n plus 3. And now you can plug that into your calculator and solve it. So once you do that, go back to the geometric and use the formula on your formula sheet. And there's only a couple questions for the assignment tonight on the next page. Keep going. Don't pack up. Don't pack up. Let's finish this. Okay, please try out those problems on the next page and we'll talk tomorrow. If you're not going to be here tomorrow, we're reviewing for the test with or without you.
Probably not.
No, we don't have school Monday. Wednesday.
Wednesday?
We review tomorrow. No school Monday. Review Tuesday, you get back. Wednesday, test.
I'll watch the video again.